Hello, in this one I'll be showing you how to interact with the controllers, that is Frappe controllers, to write your own logic on the back end that is going to drive your application. So in this patient doc type, I have added this checkbox here, which is reading her siblings. I want, when this checkbox is not checked, I do not want the patient in the patient relation to be able to select a sibling here. So if this one is not checked, it means this patient does not have a sibling, and therefore I don't want this to be able to be selected. So if I do that now, if I save, for instance, let me check this. I've not written the control logic, so I can just select this one is a sibling and save. All right, and this one I don't think the server is running, so let me start the server. I have to quit this. Let me start the server and reload this. And then when this one is not checked, let me first of all check it so that we see how this looks. Patient relation, I can do spouse save, that saves. Where this one is checked, if I uncheck it and maybe I change this to sibling, I do not want this to be able to save, because here if this one has sibling is not checked, it means this patient cannot have a sibling. So when this one when I select this user, this patient, and I select sibling, this is not supposed to allow me to save. But you see the saves now, of course, because we have now written the controller logic. So this is what we are going to be doing today. Now to interact with let me split this just to make sure that my server is running, and let me change to bench user, bench. Okay, so you can first of all interact with this doc type using ORM, and this is what I like to do. So if I come here and say bench console, this will give me a console that is just like a Python shell. So from here I can say patient equals I want to get Frappe dot, and I want to get the document, and the document I want to get is patient, and I want to get the patient with the primary key of Geoffrey. If you come to these documents in the database, you realize that this one has saved Geoffrey as my primary key. So I have that document. So if I say patient.name, I'll get Geoffrey. If I say patient.email, I'll get the email. And now looking at the relationships, if I say patient dot what is it called? It's called patient relation. So patient relation, you can see here we have objects with an object with two elements. So I can do for maybe relation in, and then here I do patient dot patient relation, and then I can just say print the relation. Okay, print relation. You can see I have, okay, no, sorry, print, I was not supposed to do that, relation, oh sorry, relation dot relation, I think, yeah, sibling. We have sibling and we have mother. How I got this, if you go to the table of relations, you see that there is relation, and then let me show you here. We have this relation. So we have this patient relation dot this, we use a for loop. So for relation in patient relation, print this relation is this one, and then this second one is this one here, the field name. So we can do something maybe that will not be very confusing. We can here say something like user, and then we can just put here user. Okay, that should also work. Yeah, so for user in patient relation, patient or patient relation, print user.relation. All right, we have this and this, so we have those two. So therefore it means we're able to interact with this document using ORM, and therefore I can be able even to change things using the same here. So for instance, I can change the last name. Here we have the last name as, or I can insert the middle name. No, let me do what? Let me change the gender, something like this, gender. This one is male for now. Let me try to reload this just to be sure. Yeah, we have male. So I can come here and say patient dot, they call it sex, and how I'm able to get that, patient dot sex equals, how I'm able to get that it is called sex here. You can just come here, go to customize, and then look for gender, and you see that the field name is sex. All right, so going back here, we have field name here as male. So let me say is equal to 1. I think 1 is male, I'm not sure. Then I can say patient dot, no, sex equals, this one needs to be female. All right, I think so. Then we can say patient dot save, and then what did we get? Yeah, I could not get gender 1. Okay, all right, so let me see whether I still have my object. Patient is, yeah, okay, so patient dot email. All right, so patient dot sex equals female. Okay, and then patient dot save tells us the document has been modified. So let me just exit from this shell, and then I restart my server just to make sure that everything is fine. And let me refresh this one also. The one we put on the sex is not known, that's why we are getting an error. So we still have male here. So now I can go to bench console. Okay, then I say patient equals frappe.get doc, and the document I want to get here is patient, and I want to get one with the primary key of Geoffrey. All right, so patient dot last name is what? Is Karani. Good. So patient dot sex, I want it to be female, and then I want to patient dot save it. Great, that one has been saved. And then I can just say frappe dot db dot commit. I think that's the command, correct. So if we come here now and reload, this should, very good, this one has changed to female. So we have edited this from our console here, from the ORM. We can also change something like, or we put the phone number. All right, let's just try to put the phone number. So we can say patient dot phone, hoping that it is called phone. Let's just confirm here. Patient dot, is it mobile? Phone, it's phone. Let's just change the phone. Okay, so where is the phone and where is the mobile? So we have phone here, we have mobile here. Mobile is there. Now let us do phone. Okay, and patient.phone equals, and we can do a string like 0700123456. Okay, then patient.save it, then frappe.db.commit. Okay, and that's it. When we come here, we should have a phone here after reloading, and we do. Okay, 00123456, the one we did. So that's how you interact from the ORM. Now let me exit this. You can also do the same with MySQL. If you want to get to MySQL here, you can just say just bench and then MariaDB. The only problem with this, the only limitation with this is that if you say something like describe the table, tab patient, you realize that this table does not have the relationship to that. It does not have the relationship to the patient relation table. This one is not mapped inside here. So how you're going to get to that place? Now? Let me clean this just to be sure we are in the right place. Sorry, okay, my terminal is hanging here. Let me just close it and start another. Then I can just sudo su to bench, okay, then I supply the password. Oh, sorry, this is supposed to be that way. Bench, correct. So then I do cd opt, go to opt, go to bench, go to ERPNext, that's my directory, my project directory. And then from here, I want to say bench MariaDB, okay. I want to show you how these relationships are made. So let me now this time describe the table tab. All the tables in ERPNext start with tab, patient relation, okay. You can see in this table we have something like parent, and this is where the relationships come through. So we have parent, we have patient, we have relation. All right, so if we do here select, and we want to select the parent, so select parent, select also the patient, and I think I would have selected also the name here. This will be our primary key. Select parent, patient, and patient. Select the name. The name is here, the parent is here, the patient is here, and then I will also look at the relation. Then from, and then here I need to supply my table, which is tab patient relation, okay. If I do that, I have this. So look at this. This is the primary key of the parent table. So we have Geoffrey, we have Kevin, and we have Geoffrey. So this is the patient is test user, and test user 2. So we can see that test user is being shared between Kevin and Geoffrey, and in Geoffrey this is a sibling, and also in Kevin is a sibling. All right, okay. And then test 2 is the mother to Geoffrey. So this is how relationships are made in ERPNext. So when you are going to write this in your controllers, this has you can either choose to use MySQL, raw MySQL in your controllers, or you can choose to use ORM. In this controller, we are going to use ORM. So let me exit from here and go back to my controllers. So how we do this, I added this checkbox here. Of course, I went to customization, and then I just added this checkbox, and I give it a default value of 1. So by default, when you add a patient, they will come accepting to have patients. All right. So if I come to my controller in the validate function, this is where I want to write my code. And controllers in ERPNext or in Frappe Framework are the Python file inside your doc type, the one with the name.py. For instance, this is the patient doc type. So the patient.py file is the one that is my controller. So these functions were here by default, and you can see all these functions from the documentation. We have before insert, after insert, on update, and all the others. So you're able to do a lot of things here. Maybe for instance, you want, after you insert a patient, you want to send them an email and tell them that you have been created, and you send some other data with that email. You can do that after the insert function has executed. So today we are going to be using validate function, and how we are going to be doing this, we will write our ORM or our logic using ORM. So what I would like to do, I want after every insert, when you are inserting, not after every insert, when you are inserting, I want this function to check whether you have selected this button. Let me go back one step. I want this function to check whether you have selected this button. If you have not selected this button, I want it to check in the patient relation and see whether you have added a sibling here. If you have added that somebody is a sibling, and this one is not checked, it will not allow you to save. It will give you a notification that this patient cannot have siblings. All right. But if this one will be checked, meaning that this patient can accept siblings, then well and good, you can go ahead and add siblings here. That's the logic I want us to write today. So let's get started. So I'll just say if, and how we get to this, we can just use the self. All right. So I can say if self dot has siblings equals 0. All right. How did I get this? The name of this field is has siblings. So if it is 0, it means it is not selected. So if it is 0, then what I would like to do, I want to loop through all the patient relations given and see whether there is one that is saying sibling. All right. So let's go back here, and then I can write my for loop by saying for relation in, and then I'll say self dot patient relation. All right. And then for relation in self dot patient relation, okay. Then I'll just give another condition, like if relation dot relation. Remember what we said, this relation is this one, this other relation is the field name. So if relation dot relation equals siblings, you have to make sure you have spelled this properly, otherwise it will not work. If relation dot relation equals siblings, then I just want to throw an error. So Frappe dot throw. You can see this one from Frappe documentation, and the error I want to throw is that this patient cannot have siblings. All right, and maybe an exclamation mark there. So let me save this file. This requires me to authorize it to save. So let's check our code. If self dot has siblings is 0, all right. For relation in self dot patient relation here, okay, siblings Frappe throw. Let's test our code. This being a controller, we don't even need to restart our server. So let me see. This one does not allow. So this one, of course, is 0. Let's go down, and we go here and change this to mother. Save it. Does not have attribute, has siblings, patient doc type. All right. So what did we do here? Let me see. So the patient self dot has siblings. Okay. Okay, this gives us that. All right. Let's go back to our ORM and see whether we have that. So let me bench console, and then I'll say my patient equals Frappe dot get the document patient. All right, and then get the Geoffrey. Okay, so if I do patient dot has siblings, what do I get? I get 0. So patient or her siblings is there. So let me copy this, copy, go back with it to my code and paste it. Oh yeah, this is where we did a mistake. We wrote siblings instead of siblings. So let me save that now. Hopefully that is where we had a problem. So yeah, save it. Okay. And now if I reload this, I'm hopeful that this will work. So try to save it. Okay, no changes to the document. Okay, yeah, that saves. All right, good. Now let me uncheck this. Come down here to patient relation, change this to something like, or even leave it that way. You see, this patient cannot have siblings. Very good. If I change this to mother and save it, that one saves. And this one is unchecked. But if I come to the same again and change this other one to sibling, save, it refuses, tells you this cannot have a sibling. So if maybe you selected this and actually it's a sibling and this one is when what you forgot to check or you unchecked by mistake, just check it and save, and it accepts. So that is it. This is the code that we wrote to do that. So just check the has siblings. If it is 0, then you loop through the restrictions that have been given. Check whether there is 1 with the name siblings. If there is, then throw this error. If there isn't, continue with saving. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in the next one.